to Cinema Falls. Joining me today is Will Charles. Will, would you like to introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, well, Charles, and then my screen name is usually neither Mr. Charles or the Lucky One. Um, so I'm actually I carry many hats. I'm a family man with an investor. I carry the title of an investor and business owner as well as um, a student. This guy right here is he's my teacher right now. um, But yeah, I carry many hats, and I'm trying to learn the way of life.
Let me see. I'm trying to get our camera views together. That way,
Yes,
let me see if I can. Let me close the chat. Show me. Here we go. Here we go. Side by side. Okay. All right. So everybody, what we are talking about today is the controversy with the Snow upcoming Disney live action remake of the Snow White, the classic Walt Disney Snow White movie. It came out in the 1930s, 1934, something like that, I believe.
yeah,
Uh,
that is it.
yeah, that sound about right. Uh, and some of the comments that she has made and the controversy that she has created around the film. For those of you who don't know, matter of fact, let me Google this real quick while we are recording this. Will, I believe the like to dislike ratio on the trailer itself is absolutely ridiculous. Right. So it holds 1 million dislikes to only 79,000 likes, and that trailer I believe has let's see, that trailer has 9 million views. That is crazy. So 1 in 9 people dislike the trailer, and I guarantee you a lot of that is from her comments online from X and other interviews she has done. Um, Out of the, did you watch the trailer before we got started, Will?
I watched just a little bit of it. I can actually throw it up right now, but I mean, one of my favorite things to really kind of catch is I already know exactly what the whole point of this. I think we kind of started talking about the publicity behind it, and which we're gonna get into in a little bit regarding like some actors and actors like throwing their political views on some of their movies, upcoming movies or anything like that, which again going to impact the view. Or depends on the movie, it's going to really boost the viewing or the watching of the movie. So, um, yeah, I watch a little bit of it.
Yeah, and I watched the trailer. The originally, I guess I don't know if you know this, Will, but the Seven Dwarfs, they originally casted as just normal people. Let me see if I can find the picture of that. I'll send it to you. But they just had just regular guys. I think they had one actual little person in the whole cast that played the Seven Dwarfs. Um, Let me see if I can find that. Uh, Yeah, here's the picture. Let me
Are you able to throw it on the screen or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, let me. So it will go in the chat,
Yeah.
and yeah, we'll still be able to keep recording. It should. I hope it doesn't make you. Yeah, you can see it right there, right in chat.
I should be able to see. I could see the chat.
Yeah, those all of those were how they were going to do the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know if you did. You get to the part where you saw the Seven Dwarfs in the trailer?
I believe it's actually it's yeah. I actually did see this part.
Yeah, they definitely did a graphic overchange to where they decided to do, because when this image that I just sent you came out, which it'll be up on screen, everybody. When that image came out, fans went crazy. They absolutely hated it. Uh, oh, 1 second. Sorry, I don't know where I went. Where am I? Where am I? There I am. Sorry. Uh, Oh yeah, fans went absolutely bananas. So they did a complete overhaul and decided to do all the dwarves in CGI in such a short amount of time. I think they did 3 weeks of reshoots to do it, and the dwarves just still do not hold up, in my opinion. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on what they were doing with like these full grown people playing the seven dwarfs to what they did with the CGI dwarfs now?
I think it's just a matter of like I don't know. Disney. I feel like right now Disney is doing. And again, that if anybody's a Disney fan, just don't beat me up on this one. But yeah, honest,
Don't worry about it, man.
I'm,
We're gonna get beat by the Disney shills anyway, so no worries there.
I'm really not too big of a Disney fan, but too big of Disney just for many reasons. But um, I feel like lately, the last 2 years, Disney, all the remakes, um, it just they just get too redundant, and then it's almost like almost almost always too sloppy. So they get some actors and they throw some stuff on their face and kind of like hoping to see what sticks. Um, some of the classics that they have done and trying to turn it into live action really hasn't really got the the direct perspective on things. I think it's just throwing things on the screen and see really what people's reaction might look like.
Yeah,
They,
it's
know,
kind of feeling like they're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, and so far,
yeah,
majority of it hasn't.
they capitalize on the market right now because I mean many of us that are the age group, you have a new generation coming up, and then you have all these I don't want to say the old generation, but the mid life generation, I should say, right now, where some of the classic that we grew up on is they want their kids, or I want my kids to like. So now they're trying to bring a different perspective, but it's not really doing it justice.
No. Yeah, I
It's
know what
really
you
not.
mean.
I feel like technology has advanced so much and so well, and it's going to continue to advance for them to basically like some of the remakes that they make, and it really doesn't. It's not really catching up. I feel like they're still holding back um, on a lot of
Yeah.
the actual acting. And keep in mind, some of those actors, to be honest with you, before a couple of decades ago, a lot of those actors were really acting. They really had to act. The director had to really catch the full scenery of someone's personality, charismatic, and then the role that they were playing. Now everything's kind of like in a green screen, and then basically go and take on a computer and enhance a lot of things. You could tell.
Yeah, and we're like, what was it? The late 80s all the way through to like the late 90s was like the Disney Renaissance, and I would love for that to happen with your kids and hopefully my future kids, Whereas anymore, it seems like Disney would rather force political agendas down their films, such as properties like Star Wars. We're seeing it in Star Wars now with shows like The Acolyte and now with Snow White. And then we get actors like Rachel Zegler, sorry, Rachel, no offense. But but where we're not seeing this Disney Renaissance that we were all hoping to get. Instead, they're just wanting to go back to the old and just do it in live action because Lion King made it made a extreme amount in the box office, and they're like, oh, people were responding well to this. When in reality, that wasn't the fact.
That was it. Yeah.
It was just the name,
So
the Lion King, that drew people in.
I mean, to even go back to your question, kind of like if you're looking at the picture, that you threw on the screen earlier about the Seven Dwarfs and compared to what they throw on that. I mean, again, we haven't seen the movie. The movie's coming out next month, right? Um, we haven't seen the rest of the role that these each of the character play, but from the trailer itself, we can already tell that the Seven Dwarf thing compared to this, it doesn't align. So
Yeah, and by the way, here's what the Seven Dwarfs look like now after they got the backlash from the the first picture of the Seven Dwarfs. This is what they decided to change it to, and
this
it looks so bad.
yeah, this one's not downloading yet, but um, anyway, so let's see what's gonna open it up with photos.
Sorry.
No, I see it. I see it.
Yeah, it looks bad, huh? It's not. I mean, and I do not blame the visual effects artists that had like 2 weeks to work on those Seven Dwarfs. It came down to the backlash of their original starting idea and the idea of hiring people the size of you and me to play the Seven Dwarfs when they should have given. I mean, we have actors out there that are legitimate little people like Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones, who I adore, who could have easily played one of the Seven Dwarfs. And
Man, absolutely. We have a lot of great actors.
yeah,
Um, that would definitely, you allow them to use the creativity and then of course their childhood memory of this movie. We have way too many great actors and actors out there that can actually just um, get the audience um, attention. So yeah, I think this is this is one of those things about let's basically um, let's put something in the screen, let's put something in the box office where and with the least amount with the small amount of budget and then expect big returns. Um, let's make this fast. Let's basically throw these in there, and then we're gonna create controversy behind it. We're gonna create excitement behind it on their own mind, and then that
yep,
they expect big return from it, and then so they can say, yeah, they make so much money, and then we only spent so much, but really people going to see it because they're excited of what the original movies look like, what the original casting and things like that. And then when they get there, what do they get? They're like, it was okay. I don't mind it. Yeah, I liked it. But they already make the money. So what now what?
yeah. And when it comes to the case of this Snow White, I mean, I no doubt I do feel like there will be some loyal Disney fans or people who don't follow movies as heavily as I do, that don't know the controversy behind this film and all the bad behind the scenes issues that have happened during it. that will
Mhm.
go and see the movie, and it probably on a base level will be probably fine. I guess one of the plot lines they want to do in the movie though is make it to where Snow White doesn't need Prince Charming. She's gonna save herself somehow because girl power.
Girl power.
Yeah, girl power. So they are pretty much erasing the prince from this movie, I guess, supposedly. But overall, I don't doubt it'll be a watchable movie at least. At the bare bottom, watchable. But I have no. Um, this is probably news to you, Will. But do you know of the Daily Wire? People like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh just made a movie called "Am I Racist?" I actually made a video essay about it. I'm not sure if I sent that to you. Uh,
I've actually watched part of that movie. Somebody else actually recommended to me. I saw part of it. I did not finish it. Well, it was a movie. I almost saw it as a documentary. Um, I really do not recall finishing it because I think I threw it. I threw it on my phone. What I was actually doing some paperwork and but I didn't finish it. But I did started watching it.
Yeah, well, the reason I brought them up is because Daily Wire is going to actually make their own version that is going to be more loyal to or more faithful to the original animated Snow White. Matter of fact, the actress they hired is actually one of their political spokesmen, who I think looks just like Snow White. Let me see if I can find a picture of her real quick, Will, and then we will wrap this up here pretty soon here, guys. Um,
Yeah. Why you doing that? Why you doing that? Like you want to throw me like just a small perspective of anything about the active controversy of choice on for political views? Because I know we started talking about that in the beginning, before we started recording this.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time, Will.
The actress political views when she was expressing her concern emotionally about the current elected president.
Yeah.
So, like, what else? What was your point of view? What else did you have to throw in that, man? I'm curious because again, because I know we started talking about how some of these actors and actors and throwing their political views and to get to use um their fame, you know,
Yeah.
out there
Well,
for
so like, how do I feel about like actors and like what we were starting about talking about how actors
yeah,
are using their popularity to push into politics, stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess kind of my thoughts on it is, especially those of you who don't know, I am going to school for digital filmmaking. I already have a show called Autumn Falls out there. I'm not a creator who believes in putting my political views into my work. Uh, Unfortunately, sometimes, especially nowadays, um, I would say entertainment and politics kind of uh, collide nowadays, which is unfortunate. But I do my best to try and keep my politics out of my content, whether it be on YouTube or on Autumn Falls. And I love actors who have done that, like Chris Pratt. There was this other thing that happened where all of the Avengers decided to go and us assemble to endorse Kamala Harris. It was so bad. I mean, it's. I just don't believe that if you are an entertainer, you should not be using your popularity to force your political agenda. Because most of the people that go see these movies, like Avengers, are young adults. I mean, teenagers, kids who wanted to see Iron Man. And then when they follow them on Twitter, which kids do have access to the internet these days, go follow these, you know, these actors on social medias, and they see their heroes endorsing Kamala Harris, and eventually some of these people are 18 and old enough to vote, and it's not right to use your popularity as an entertainer, as a actor, to do that. At least in my opinion, you are an entertainer. You are there to entertain, and that's what you do best. And we would love to see you do it. And unfortunately, if you do release your political beliefs, you isolate half of the fan base, and I think that not only hurts the IP, it hurts you, it hurts the studio. It's just a bad way to do business.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, again, there's a difference between expressing your what you believe in a sense of choices, or more standards. But like once you start leveraging that and using or kind of create chaos or create emotions based on your popularity, yeah, I like the way you put it. You know, it's you basically like separate. You're creating separation. You know, you're separating one view or one group to based on who you're going to vote for, and then what about the other group now that still looking at you as a figure, right? But they also have their own belief. How are you making it, causing them to feel
yeah,
about you, about the type of role that you play, and of course, political things. So, uh, anyway, we at that point, I think if we keep talking about it, we end up going to instill our own political belief and this anyway. So, but I think we got the point across.
yeah, yeah, I do too. And by the way, look at that picture I just sent you real quick. That is who the Daily Wire hired to play Snow White. Her name is Brett
Yeah,
Cooper. That looks much more like Snow White than Rachel Zegler, right?
the original, like the whole figure of Snow White. Yep.
Yep.
But
And
again, we kind of started talking about this. You know, Disney has its own agenda. At this point, I think Disney is such a it's expanding so much on different area of the country and different area of business portfolio that causing them to feel like um they are such a heavy weight
oh
in
yeah,
the um so basically again it's about the bottom line. The bottom line is regarding profits and shareholders. But again, this is coming from somebody that literally have plenty of shares, not in Disney for sure, in other companies, um, but it is still one of those things that I still would like to have my kids do not fall into that pitfall of Disney's agenda, of your agenda, of corporation agenda.
yeah. And I would imagine you're not some like. Well, I would imagine you want your kids seeing, like in the latest Star Wars, that last Star Wars movie we got two females kissing. They're where they're trying to push LGBTQ plus political agendas into it. I'm sure that's not something you want your kids seeing in Disney movies. That's not what Disney was supposed to be for. It was supposed to be for family values.
They have lost that. They absolutely have lost that family value and have added, have allowed other organization or anything like that get into their behind the scenes and behind their portfolio that really I think they have lost a lot of control on what family value is.
Yeah,
They trying to really change family value or enhance it in their mind. You know, that's the only way I can think about it. Their own agenda, and that agenda does not align with for my family, and you know, for a lot of other families.
yeah, with my family as well. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't like. They need to find a politically neutral. I mean, just good American values that they can push in their films. You know, traditional American values of the I mean, don't let's not everybody forget these movies are for little kids, especially movies like Snow White. what little girl doesn't dream of being saved by Prince Charming, or finding the love of their life? What little boy doesn't dream of being the hero and saving the damsel in distress? I mean, it's a tale as old as time. It's American values. It's what speaks to children, and it seems to be what Disney has lost. All of this wokeism going around, and it really has ruined many of the franchises like Marvel, Star Wars, and many of these Disney original properties like Snow White.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. Um, I'm the father of three girls, right? And I know what those girls I have to deal with them, right? They beat me up a lot, and they put me in my place a lot. They are very strong-willed, right? I respect that, and I'm also contributing to their way of, hey, you can do a lot of things, but I'm also making sure they understand that what understand and recognize and men value
Exactly.
as well, right? They have their values, they have their strength, they have their own calling, they have their own purpose. Um, but they do. It is part of my responsibility as a father and my wife to make sure they also recognize the family values and like the the way of what a man what they have to allow a man to do. And again, but nowadays the world has shifted a man's role to a woman's role and a woman's role to a man's role. um, but right
Yeah,
now,
I
it's,
agree.
um, right now I think the movie industry, um, recognize that they they can oh man, I don't want to use the wrong word, but they can televise um anything that they want to push, any agenda that they want to push, and it is going to enter those kids' minds. Um, and I think that's the
Absolutely.
intent. That's the intention, right? Because after when the mind is mature or immature, I should say, right now, what they are seeing on TV, it's accepted a lot quicker, a lot more than someone that's actually already mature. So I think
Exactly.
they're not doing this for you and me. Those things they put in the movies, they're not doing it for you and me. They're doing it for the young kids.
Exactly. It's indoctrination, not education.
Vaccination, of course, that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
So, um, but hey, that was a great discussion. So I really appreciate it, man. I think
Yeah. Hey, thank you for coming on, man. And I was about to end this anyways. Um, Before we do wrap this up, Will, do you want to shout out your social medias where people can follow you?
oh yeah, man. That was a good question, but I appreciate the you giving me that, man. Yeah, Mr. Lucky One. Just just a full word, no numbers, nothing. Mr. Lucky One on Fanbase. I actually I don't know if many people are familiar with Fanbase. It's a new social media platform that's making a lot of noise out there. It really has like but it allows you to literally combine TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, um, like all the popular. It literally create a platform that have all those into it plus its own. You can upload movies, you can upload videos, short videos, you can upload long videos, you can post pictures, you can post caption or quote. However you wanna really all those platforms, you can do it into one. Um, so you can find me in there. You can find me on TikTok. I do a lot more on TikTok, and I'm starting to push out a lot more stuff in Fanbase as well. But um, TikTok, you can find me on Mr. Charles W. Um, so I'm trying to push all that in there. So Instagram, you can find me on the same Mr. Lucky one as well. So um, give me some love on those.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
And everybody, be sure to go check him out. He does a lot of good motivational content that I've been watching recently and really enjoy. So be sure to go check him out. I'll be sure to leave the links to his down in the comment section and description below. So thank you so much, Will. I'm gonna go ahead and end this right here, but I do want to talk to you as soon as we're done, if that's okay. If you have a minute.
Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Will, for joining me. This may be my new co-host for Cinema Falls because he did outstanding on this. So thank you, Will.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.